Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel where I share my crocheting and knitting journey and experiences, and you can join the fun by hitting the subscribe and like button. We are working on my stash busting granny square blanket. We have been making different blocks. In every video I try to make a different block for my stash busting granny square blanket, and today I'll be making this very interesting looking block. I call it micro mini because we have made mini granny square before, and this is smaller than mini, so it should be called micro mini. To me it looks like postage stamp, and I find it very interesting looking block. It's very easy. You make the number of blocks that you need. I have two versions, one has just 4, the other has 9, and then you join them with the stitch that you prefer. I like this stitch slip stitch join because it gives a nice edge and another interest and dimension to my block, and then you just crochet around. In this block you can see that I have done one round of single crochet, and then I did my granny clusters, but here I have made it without the round of single crochet. So it's really up to you, it's your choice how you like it. Let's proceed with today's work. I have already made 8 blocks. I'll make only one postage stamp with you and then we'll join them. I'll have to repeat one color for my center, my heart of the block, because of my color palette, and I have decided to reuse this color. Let's start. Because it's a simple granny square block, we'll start by making slip knot and chain 4. 2, 3, 4. Join first and last stitch. And make a chain 3, which will be your first double crochet. And make 2 more double crochets to complete your first shell, your first cluster. Chain 3 and next cluster. Remember to crochet above this tail, starting tail, so that you have less work to do at the end of the project. This particular block will have too many tails already because we are using many colors. This is what we are going to make. Now next step is cutting the yarn and securing the edge and starting on arranging our block. Now the question arises, how do we arrange the colors? Now what do we think? I think it's acceptable, and I'm going to use this bright orange to join them. Let's start. You can use any method to join the blocks together, these postage stamps, these micro minis. I like to give another texture, that's why I use this kind of join. I'm using a smaller hook because I prefer to use crochet for my sewing and attaching. You can use tapestry needle. Now I will go in the middle stitch. In this chain 3, I'll go in the middle stitch on both sides, and then make a slip knot and pull through the 2 loops. Again, we'll pick loops on both sides. Remember, we are picking up the loops that are next to each other. Each stitch has 2 loops and we are only going to pick up the loops that are nearest to each other. And in this way we will do our sewing. And because these blocks are of same size, so ideally you should have same number of stitches on both sides on both blocks. But if you realize that you do not have same number, then just try to cover up your blunder somehow. Have I made a mistake? I think I have made a mistake somewhere, but let's persevere. And I'll finish it and see you. Now when you come at the crossroad, like this point, here we have just one, or like this, these joints, when you are jumping over the other seam, just lengthen your loop and go above this seam and next stitch on the other side of the seam. Like this, and continue. This is the block. I used same yarn for sewing them and making the granny clusters. If you want, of course, you can use a totally different yarn to make your granny edges your border. Let's continue using this orange to make our border. And if you look closely from the sample that I have prepared, it's very simple. All you have to do is like any other granny square, you go into each chain 3 space and make your granny cluster, and in corner we have chain 3. Very simple and very easy to make. Let's start from a corner, and I'll make only half of my corner. I'll make just one cluster so that I can complete it when I come back. Remember to change your crochet hook to the one that you have been using. 2, 3 and 4. This is our first double crochet of the cluster, second and third. Into the next chain 3 space we will make our next cluster. Next chain 3 space, and I'm not making a chain in between my clusters. In my second corner space, I'll make 2 clusters. Chain 3 and next cluster. So I will continue working like this and complete my border, my granny square. After making my second cluster of this corner, I'll make chain 3 and join with the first chain 3 in order to complete my round. If you like, of course, you can make half double crochet as well. I am mentioning half double crochet because some people prefer half double crochet to make their final to join their last 2 clusters of the corner. So this is it. I have no idea why, but it looks something like the traditional color work embroidery of my country. And let me weave in the end. This is the final look of my block, and it reminds me of the craft, the embroidery done by the local artisans. And you can see the different blocks, my granny squares. You can see these 3 similar but different granny squares, and the impact of colorways, different colors that you can use and achieve different impacts that you are looking for. Something traditional looking, something retro, and something totally new and exciting. I will leave a link to the mini granny square block in the description box, and you can check that out as well and see which one you like better. Do remember to leave a comment. Let me know which block did you like best. The green border, this very oriental, can we still use oriental looking, this orange border, or this one? I find all of them have a very different personality. So which one did you like the most? Do let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time with a new block for my stash busting granny square blanket. Till then, take care.